good morning. It is good to be back with you for another time when we are journeying through this Bible study called The Book. But my name is Kevin Young, and if you would like to know more about Christ's Table, who brings you these Bible studies each and every day, then you can visit the URL that is right there, www.christstable.today. Now, this Bible study, we're spending 7 weeks, 24 days going through the Bible and looking at kind of different sections to see what we can learn about the genres of the Bible. We've been in the wisdom literature. We were in wisdom literature, then we were in Job, and this week we are in Psalms. And if you'd like more information about this Bible study, you can actually find that at the URL right there in front of me, go.christstable.today/the book. There you can find a PDF that lists all of the day's readings there. And also we have a study guide that lists all the text for the day. It lists questions for adults and deeper conversations for adolescents and for youth, and then some background information. You can download that PDF for absolutely free, or if you like a printed copy of it, then you can get it there as well. Now, like I said, this week we are in the book of Psalm, which is a song book of the Hebrew scriptures. And so everything that we see in the book of Psalms is a song. And as you may well know, when it comes to songs, songs are creative ways to tell truths. Maybe there's some embellishment in them. Maybe there is praise in them. Maybe there's sadness in them. You kind of see the depth and the breadth of human emotions there. And this one that we have in Psalm chapter 11 is going to be no different than that today. One thing in particular that we find in Psalm chapter 11, and there are a few of these songs in the book of Psalms, that tends to be a bit of a tongue twister there, is that this is a confidence song. It expresses faith in God's care for and guidance of his people. Now, we see confidence coming out in all different types of music and all different types of poetry and situations. You can have confidence in the Lord's ability to sustain you, to keep you. You can have confidence in God's ability to bring you out of a pit. You can have confidence in God's ability to destroy your enemies. And there are a few songs in here about destroying individuals' enemies. But in general, these are about, at least these confidence psalms, of which this is one, are about expressing faith in God's care for and guidance of his people. And sometimes I have to admit that's in question, right? We see the world around us. We see the life that happens to us, the things that happen to us, and sometimes our confidence can get shaken. I'm not even sure that you can be human, right? That you can live in this world without your confidence being shaken. Our confidence is shaken in so many different things. Our confidence is shaken in our boss whenever they don't make the right decision or they put profit over people. Our confidence is shaken in our political leaders whenever they promise to do one thing and then end up doing another thing, or whenever they put themselves first. Our confidence is shaken in our teachers whenever they write really terrible questions or grade our essays badly. Our confidence is shaken in our friends whenever they stab us in the back. Our confidence is shaken in our spouses whenever they make decisions that are hurtful, not just to themselves or to us. Our confidence is shaken in ourselves many times, where we don't recognize the person who we see in the mirror. And our confidence many times can be shaken in God, right? For many people who are strongly religious, it can be very difficult to question confidence in God. One of the things about music and about song and about the book of Psalms is it gives us an opportunity to question these things that oftentimes we may not question unless we were singing it in a song. So why don't we go ahead and jump here into Psalm chapter 11, verse 1. I trust in the Lord for protection. So why do you say to me, fly like a bird to the mountains for safety? So very immediately out of the gate, what we have here is a question of confidence. I trust in the Lord for protection, but everybody around me is saying, you should run, you should flee from here. This is not a situation that you need to be in. This is not healthy. This is not good. Trust in God all you want, but do something to protect yourself here, okay? So is it going to be take refuge in that trust that we feel in God, or are we going to run? And is that running to something else? running to hide, running to some other protection because we don't trust God. And is that wrong? Are we able to do both things? Is it questioning God's confidence whenever we flee? Is it questioning God's confidence? Is it questioning our confidence in God? Is it questioning God whenever we have concern that God may not come through? We may say we trust in God, but we may have doubts. We may have fears. And so we feel this tension in our relationships, but we also feel this tension in our spiritual relationship with God as well, between refuge and trust in what we believe we know to be true and what we can see with our eyes, we can feel in our hearts. And we shouldn't be so difficult, I think, on ourselves or on other people whenever they question, whenever they may have less than perfect confidence in something. Is it wrong? The wicked are stringing their bows, the song says, and fitting their arrows on the bowstrings. Things are tense, and time is short to figure this out. They shoot from the shadows at those whose hearts are right. They're trying to take on those people who are not in the wrong, but who are in the right. The foundations of law and order have collapsed. What can the righteous do? Whenever there is no one there to protect you, the government won't protect you, law and order won't protect you. Everything that gave stability has collapsed. What is somebody who is good, who is being shot at? What are they going to do? But all this is going on, and the Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord, even whenever the arrows are flying and the flames are coming, the Lord still rules from heaven. He watches everyone closely, examining every person on earth. The Lord examines both the righteous and the wicked. He hates those who love violence. Followers of Christ really need to hear that. He hates those who love violence. He will rain down blazing coals and burning sulfur on the wicked, pushing them with scorching winds, punishing them with scorching winds. For the righteous, Lord loves justice, and only the virtuous will see his face. Only the virtuous will have the ability to see truly and to see rightly and to see God. This is a song. It's not necessarily meant to be a theological dissertation on confidence and refuge versus flight and trust in God and how he or they, depending on how you view God, tend to interact in the world. That's not what this is. It's a song of emotion. It's a song of questioning. It's a song trying to cry out and make sense of what the feelings are on the inside by putting them into words and allowing them to come to the outside. But what can we get from this? There are many things, and in today's questions in the study guide, it's going to ask some really great questions, I think, on the basis of this Psalm chapter 11. And so I hope that you'll get to them, either download it or the one that you have that we sent to you as a donor. But when the foundations are being destroyed, and this is from, I think it's from verse 3 in here, when the foundations are being destroyed, what can the righteous do? This is kind of the verse, the line, the phrase that the entirety of the song turns on. When the foundations are being destroyed, when everything that you have relied on and stood upon is crumbling, what can somebody who wants to live right, who is righteous, what can they do? That question, I think, is a great question to pose to ourselves, no matter where we are on our spiritual journey, or maybe even not on a spiritual journey. So whenever everything that I thought was concrete is now quicksand, what can somebody who is good rely on? Well, it's been good to be with you this morning. Looking forward to being with you here for the rest of the week as we continue to focus on the book of Psalms And until tomorrow.